Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Xander Scullion, and joined with me, it's good old Jeff. What's up, Jeff?
It's another week, a silky week, silky smooth week. But
Oh, yeah.
it was a wild one, and I realized we didn't add the Kyle's trials to the to the sheet here today, and I'm like, oh yeah, I had so much stuff like accumulating as we're going and cataloging everything, and I'm like, what do I even talk about this week, Sander? But how are you doing? But how are
I,
you
I'm
doing?
I, I'm doing good, doing good. I mean, it's starting to get a little cooler. The leaves are slowly starting to change. It's starting to become my favorite time of the year. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also excited about all the games we're going to be talking about this episode, and I know one particular game we're going to talk about that's like the hot topic that we'll get into, more
Hmm.
ways than one. But did you have a Kyle's trial this week? Like you
Man, that was such a hollow comment from me. I don't get what you're talking about. Yeah, no. So I have a ton of Kyle's trials. Ironically, the shirt I'm wearing, ECF and W,
Yeah.
was one of Kyle's many metal and wrestling shirts, and cut off already and everything. So I wear them all the time just to show tribute. But so I think I'm gonna go with an interesting one. And I might have shown off some a similar character or the same actually character when I show off any Turtles characters in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I came across this Usagi Yojimbo, the
Oh
comic
yeah.
version from Dark Horse.
Oh
And
wow.
so this is the Sayaki or Stan Sakai version of him. And so
That's
he has like
cool.
the original comic book. And because Kyle's insane, he also had a giant version, like like a giant
That's
PVC
dope.
version of a Zog. And so like these are classic, and it has like the detailed plastic figure. Nowadays, there's a huge action figure community for like making new characters. Like there's a giant wrestling because Kyle was also into giant Hasbro or the Hasbros and everything, the little plastic ones that had the action on them.
Hmm.
And there's a huge community like doing tons. Like there's multiple companies doing tons of new Hasbro wrestlers for all the ones that we wanted as a kid and shit. So,
Yeah.
um, like this stuff nowadays is like, oh, there's tons of PVC, but these are the originals. And as you can
Yeah.
see, like Kyle got that giant one for $5 somewhere. I don't know if it was a flea market or
Jeez.
something, but like, dude is the man when it came to finding stuff. Another one that I thought was super interesting. Funko Land
Oh
paper.
my God. I see. Yes, I remember that. I remember grabbing those newspapers and looking at all the prices. And it's funny because you look at some of the retro prices now, like see if you can find little Samson to see how much is
Well,
going for back then. It was like
I'm
super
gonna
cheap.
let's do the Xander quiz. How much could we buy in September of 1998? How much could we go and buy stadium events for? I'm gonna go buy stadium events. The multi-thousand dollar, $100,000 game. How much can we go buy stadium events for?
It was probably a couple hundred back then.
Oh yeah, for sure. However, if you had 29 cents, you can
Mhm.
get your 29 cents.
Wow.
29 cents. You can get stadium events. The irony was, being on Nintendo age back in its heyday, there never was a copy of Stadium Events sold at a Funko Land because it's so freaking rare. But like,
Yeah.
if somebody actually sold it, if they found it, you would get it for 29 cents. You said, what did you say? Little Samson or Panic
Yeah.
Restaurant? Little Samson?
Little
How much?
Simpson. Yeah.
How much would you say they would sell Little Samson for?
I'd say probably back then it was probably like $10.
Five.
Five. Jeez.
Five, and it's Litl. They can't even spell little out because they're cool like that. Panic Restaurant, $2. Like, however, if you want to get a copy of, let's see, Side Pocket,
Yeah.
the pool game, super common, $20, baby, $20. Like that's just wow. Bubble Bobble too, though, $35 back in the day. So that's maybe the rarest Nintendo game because you're talking. This is during the PlayStation era.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Like this is
This was the era that I was getting all my like Nintendo and Super Nintendo games dirt cheap because nobody else really cared about them back then, you know? And I
it,
just loved video games. I didn't care how old they were.
so that's how you got your little Samson. It was 29 cents, right?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, and I'm
That's
looking
funny.
like I don't think they have. Do they have Musha in here? Do they have like Hagane? Let's see how much Hagane is. How about that?
Oh yeah.
Um, $5 for Hagane.
Shit.
And let's see, Musha. Is it even in here? It is. And how much do you think Musha is?
I feel like that game was always kind of expensive because when I first heard about the game, it was already like collectible. So yeah, it's probably like a $20 game.
$4.
$4? What?
So,
Jeez.
um, so it's one of those things where you talk in the collector market, especially when it comes to like indie games physical. This also is true to Switch, so it applies to what we're talking about. The trough of no value is a real thing. That is in the collector's circle. Collector's Quest podcast talks about it. Other podcasts that do
Hmm.
specific collecting. So in other words, you have to go through that flea market trough of no value with stuff until it becomes collectible. So it goes all the way down the shitter and you can buy for $1. Everything's a buck. And that's why you would find the NES games for a buck, Super Nintendo games for a buck if at garage sales, because they're getting 25 cents at those places.
Yeah.
Um, and then it has to go up. So that's where like with Switch stuff, with whatever it is, a perfect example is all the newer action figures that we're going through. Everything is still the same price, if not cheaper than when it first came out, and it's going through the trough of November. Pop figures, all that shit,
Yeah.
and then the true gems will pop out, the ones that people couldn't have. The market starts to rebalance itself, and so that's what this was in the '90s. You're in the trough of the valley, brother. That's why it's like
Yeah.
a buck
That I
for
loved
stuff.
it. I loved it back then
Yeah.
as a kid with no money. That was awesome. And I mean, I see that kind of happening now with like generations like the PS3 and 360 and stuff like that. I'm starting to see where people are starting to collect that. And
Yeah.
I've noticed like the 360 games are starting to go up in value, like certain ones, like the
Yeah.
high hitters and stuff, like the ones that people really want, like Lost Odyssey and stuff like that, starting to go up in value. I mean, it happens
Well,
after a while.
and that was the crazy thing of back in the day is like you come out of the trough and you're going up, um, like Kyle and I went and we saw it was Panic Restaurant in Little Samson, and we felt weird a certain way because of these old prices. We felt a certain way paying 50 and $60 for them. We bought
Yeah.
them for 50 and $60. Now I say I got Little Samson and Panic Restaurant for $50. You're like, did you get a bootleg? It's like, no,
Yeah.
I have the originals. But it was like back in the day. I
Hmm.
do have one more cool item, besides for obviously a classic Chicago Bulls cup,
Hell
with
yeah.
ticket for when he went to go see them. So that's like classic. But that was 2005.
Wow.
That was 2005 tickets, so not good Bulls. But yeah. As last week we talked Transformers. Well, I found what caused Kyle to get the potential ones that we thought might not be legit, because we found a legitimate field transformer, and
Hmm.
it's ridiculous. It is a sealed Optimus Prime.
Wow.
Original, has 1984 on it. It's got wear and tear, all the like the decoloring because he had it in his main area, so I think it has like a little bit of sun fading on it. Like
Hmm.
this is Optimus here. It's a big one. So this is the original Optimus Prime from Transformers in the box. Like freaking wild. Wild.
That's cool. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we also then came across another one of the ones that I'm pretty sure is a bootleg because it said Grimlock was an Autobot Demander instead of Commander. Like,
Demander.
they misspelled Commander on it, and I'm like, and so like the packaging doesn't have those little top things. It doesn't have all that, but that's like that. I'm pretty sure Kyle found that somewhere at a flea market or something. And all this has like Kyle dust on it, by the way. Like he never
Yeah.
dusted. So still some dust that I gotta. But but like I'm pretty sure he got that, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna go get all this other stuff, and then he's trying to get it as cheap as possible, and he got it from one seller, and they sent them all, and it's all bootleggy. And he's like,
Yeah.
what do I
That's
do?
it's crazy.
He still got
That's
the
cool though.
figures, which is cool, but like it's like, nah, man. Classics though. So I did get in something that's really cool that leads into our topic, our first topic. But I did one painting since I'm done with my collab with Thriller Crew. Do you know what this character is, Xander? I did this character.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It looks familiar.
Yeah, it's
It looks almost like Wukong.
and so for those listening with no video, it's a pixelated character, front facing, obviously action RPG looking character. And another hint to reel it in, TurboGrafx 16. Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
am working
Okay.
on the complete TurboGrafx 16 book. Um,
Is
and
that
this
from
is the
Newtopia?
Utopia 2.
Ah,
This
okay.
is the sequel. So
Okay.
this is Newtopia 2. And I do have a boxed copy of Newtopia 2. So
So good.
I'm gonna have it over on my collection. I just pulled it off the collection to bring over. I'm like, oh yeah, I finished something. Um, Something else that I got, which is really cool, and this is what I've been using to play the game we're about to talk about, obviously the big Hollow Knight, is I finally got the SN30 Pro 3.
Oh, how is that? I've been
It
looking into those
is.
controllers. I've been looking into them.
So I've been doing the SN30 Pros since they were created. I have all three of them right over here. So let me see. I'm gonna get right into the camera because I got to reach over and grab it. Oh no, I dropped it.
Oh
I'm
no.
a I'm
Rest
a
in peace.
awesome. I'm a professional. So this is the Pro One, like Super
Ah,
Nintendo style. I love this thing. Love the form factor because Super Nintendo is one of my favorite controllers. That and Sega Saturn. This is the Pro Two,
yeah, well, then they added the
which
handles.
they added the handles. Now this is the Pro Three. The Pro 3, I got one that is like grayer. It's like two-toned. It had like a PlayStation looking color buttons, and then inside of the charging dock, 'cause this one has a charging dock, had these cool color buttons. These buttons you can swap out by basically pulling them off.
Oh, that's perfect.
They're magnetic, so and they don't pop off while you play, but they're not hard to pull off. What's crazy though is you could pop off the control stick, and then it comes with
Oh,
little crazy nubbin. Something you'll
that's
never
awesome.
freaking use. You'll never freaking use. Because like it's way too tall for your thumb
Yeah.
to put on this little joystick thing, but it seems super cool. And if I'm ever gonna play like a shoot 'em up, maybe I'll use it for a shoot 'em up if I play like this with my finger and my thumb. Because like playing like
Yeah.
this. Like it's not practical. Even putting it on the right thumbstick is as a gimmick is not practical. And then you just pop back on though. Like literally you saw how that took 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Um they made the joysticks more quality. The thumb or the D-pad is now like a little bit clicky, which was perfect for SilkSong, mind you, because I had moved to analog sticks on my Pro 2 forever. And now that I got the Pro 3, I actually played a lot of SilkSong for the precision platforming with the D-pad.
That's
And this
good.
D and this D-pad's more NES style versus this one, which is more Game Boy style for the texture too. Um,
Hmm.
Very interesting. And then they added these little locks on the back, which it changes it from the GameCube style full motion to you lock it and it's clicky. So it's just like a button now, which is
Yeah.
like game changing because like these are always super travel and now I can literally pop because there's a lot of stuff you use in Silksong for that.
Hmm.
Um, for that. And then there's an R4 buttons that you can set, and then the back buttons, which the Pro 2 had back buttons. But there's a R4 now too. So
That's so cool. That is so
so many
cool.
freaking buttons on this shit. It is wild. It has it has Bluetooth and 2.4 gig, which does the direct connection with certain consoles. And I just leave it on Bluetooth for this purposes. And then the settings though is pretty cool because you also have SD and SX. So
Hmm.
S is Switch, SX is your PC, Xbox, and then D is like Android and potentially iOS.
Oh, okay. That's
So
cool.
it's pretty
So
wild.
you don't
I,
have to do any like weird button combinations to sync it up with the console at that point. Because I mean, I
no.
know that some of the older 8-bit DOE controllers, you had to do like certain combos to get it to sync to certain consoles or PC. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's still pricey. It was like 60 or 70 bucks. But that's what all modern controllers are. So it was a bit pricey though. But for me, that's my favorite controller. And apparently it takes there was a like a 8-bit like pro controller or something like that that came out like a I don't know, some ultimate controller. Well, this is
Mhm.
the ultimate version of the SN30. So to me, perfect. I still have my original SN30 wired plugged in before it was a Pro, wired plugged into my analog pocket, so I could still use that. But the Pro is cool. So that was a cool find. I'd recommend it for anybody who's trying to do retro gaming combined with indie. It makes sense. The D-pad though, I haven't used a D-pad on the Pro 2 for a while, and
Mhm.
I use the D-pad pretty much exclusively so far, and I'm getting pretty damn far in this game. So.
I might have to.
Unless you got in anything, unless you got anything cool.
I mean, I don't have anything else on my end. I mean, I haven't really played anything other than our randomizer. I did play our randomizer from last week, and it
Yeah.
was very, very addicting. You want to talk about that before we get into the nitty gritty with
Yeah,
uh
let's make them wait for SilkSong Talks
yeah,
because we got
you got so
SilkSong
much.
Talks. We got the Kazeta OS, which that's fucking crazy, and then
Mm.
the randomizer. So let's talk the randomizer.
Yeah, so the randomizer this week we picked last week was a game called Footgun Underground. And
Yeah.
it's a roguelike that you control a dude with this like lethal soccer ball.
Yes. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, it's like he has lethal balls, Xander.
Yeah.
Lethal balls. Um, I don't know. Did you ever play Kleets back in the day on Super Nintendo or on the Genesis? Because there's a Genesis version it's called something else, but Kid Kleets. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so Kid Kleets is a platformer, not roguelike, but a platformer where you're attacking with a soccer ball.
Mm.
Like literally you're doing that. Well, this felt like a weird modernized version. The controls are addicting as shit though as you're playing because
The
you got like
ball
this
physics.
yeah, because you got this ball and they construct a room with tons of diagonals and stuff. Each room's a little different. It's like
Mhm.
room by room roguelike. So you'll go to a
Yeah.
room and it's like basically enemy fighting. It's like enemy swarms for the roguelike piece. And then you'll like kick the ball and it'll go flying around. And then you just got to like run over and be able to hit the ball. And you could, if you jump in the air, he'll like do a backflip kick and craziness.
Yeah.
And then it'll like pop into the figure into the guys. The other cool thing is because then like a little subway train picks you up, and then you go to the next section once you complete it. But the interesting portion is that with the roguelike, you collect from certain enemies, they'll drop an item. Those items will give you different upgrades. So then like the ball will hit an enemy and explode. Or to create
Mm.
a trail. I don't know if you got this one. It creates a trail of lines and all those lines turn into lasers. And when the enemies come through them, they get disintegrated.
Yeah.
Like you're creating like laser tripwires almost. Like
It
like
gets
there's so
wild,
many.
dude.
And then you'll have like because it's like a map, kind of like Darius, where you have different like map options to go through as you're going through the levels. And there'll be certain ones that are like you got this um and I think it gives you items, but it's like a little dummy thing, and you attack the dummy a million times. There's another one where it just goes to a store. That's the only place that I found this, but you could buy a second ball,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
then you
because
got
you get
two balls.
yeah, because you get a lot like you can get at the because they got like a gotcha machine like in the
And
main
then at the end,
hub.
yeah, after you die, there's a gotcha machine, and if you get a coin, or I think that's based on your performance. I couldn't really figure out what the dynamic was to get coins, but I had two from the first playthrough because I got pretty damn far. I got past the first boss.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
and every other time didn't even get to the boss because I got massacred. But like. Yeah, it's good with roguelikes. It's like, do you want to be cautious and strategic, or do you want to be crazy? So I started getting crazy after and having fun, and you have to take damage because I'm being careless. But it's a
Yeah.
roguelike, supposed to have fun with it, and you're supposed to die. So that I old Jeff, I couldn't do that shit. I would have to like grind. I
Yeah.
don't want to die. It'd make me. Now I'm like, just go through and have fun and die and kill and it was and that's what it's supposed to be. But yeah, I got past the first boss, got to the second area, which is more fun with new enemies and stuff. So the enemy variety does change with biomes as you go through. It's not a Metroidvania. It's straight up roguelike action game. Fun as shit for small playthroughs. Um, Now, did you notice this? I don't know. Um, was there any type of meaningful, permanent progression that you could carry on at the beginning of a play run? Because it felt like I was at scratch every time I started.
That's how I felt too. I felt like I was on scratch, but I didn't play it as much as you did. It sounds like you dived into it a little deeper than I did, but I for what I'd played, I really enjoyed it because it was a really good like pick up and play game. Like you just start playing, you play a little bit, put it down, pick it back up. I like those kind of games, and
Yeah,
I mean, I thought it was a really good randomizer. And right now it's on sale. It's 50% off, folks, if you're listening right now. So
nice.
it's normally 14.99, but it's on sale for about 7.50.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sales going on right now. I don't think this is the fall sale because I haven't
Mm-mm,
seen
not
any of my
yet.
games pop up yet, but there's a lot of sales, and I think this is the post SilkSong sales because
Yeah.
it's a lot in response, and it leads into that topic. It's been a wild couple days.
So before we get into Silk Song, there is another topic that we want to talk about, especially with all these sales going on. In case you want to save space, this is a very weird app that I stumbled upon from ETA Prime, a big YouTuber when it comes to emulation and hacking consoles and doing things with PCs. But there's a new OS called a Caseta, and it pretty much is an OS that can turn your PC games into physicals with SD cards. Like,
The wild one that you sent it, and I was looking at. So it's this OS is Linux based, but you have to build it onto your PC. So it's not something that you can just install an app or a program on your computer. You have to have a dedicated computer for it.
mhm.
And so it creates so say if you like me and I have a couple extra older mini PCs sitting around that I have for my daughter and stuff, I could take it, add Kazeta to it, and then now you have a set-top box, a dedicated Kazeta OS box that you can use SD cards for, and the SD cards are cartridges. So you just put whatever size SD card, and it has to be DRM free, which means you can't just take like a random Steam game and put it on there. But you
Mhm.
do your DRM free games that you buy on like itch.io or somewhere else or GOG. GOG is good about DRM free. And you can take the DRM free, put it on there, and it doesn't install the game on Kazeta. It keeps it on the cartridge, and then it just has like little support files, like save files. And you can do it
Mhm.
does little save files, kind of like a PlayStation memory card almost. It
Yeah.
looks cool. My question to you is it worth doing as a huge
I
project?
I was thinking about this when we found this video. I think what I would use it for if I was to do it, I think I would use it for those like fan-made games that get pulled off really, really quick. Like a good example would be like the game that we forgot to talk about last episode, but there's a Mario CD game, like a Mario CD fan made game that we were talking about. And we know Nintendo likes to pull those games off the websites and send cease and desist. So this would be a good way to archive some of those fan made games for the future in case they're not available anymore because it happens, you know?
Yeah,
That's
I
what I would
mean
use it for.
that's true. I also like the itch games that people release. Like there's a few creators out there that do these awesome genre matchup retro style games, and they're super cool. So I would almost use it for that too. But it's also like it would be cool as a keep after the backlog, but not really because it would just add more to the backlog version to like have a plug and play. The thing is that I don't know, and you wouldn't know until you start testing it. Is it all clean? Is it all because obviously if it's Android based or Linux based. It'll work with the 30 or the SN30 Pro 3, which I'm looking for it
Hmm.
just to show. Oh, it's around the charging base, but it's like that. It's and so it would be is it smooth enough? Because if I'm playing it
Hmm.
as glitchy as your camera looks on my screen right now, it would be it'd be one of those where I wouldn't be able to play for a long gaming
Yeah.
session. Yeah.
My thing is too is like I'm the kind of person I couldn't just make SD cards. I would want to make cover art and then I would want to make boxes because if I'm going to have something physical, I want to display it. I want it to look cool. I was already thinking about it. I was like, man, I could do these SD cards. You can print out the little labels to put on top of the SD card, and you could use like cases to make the cover art, and you have like little cassettes of like PC games, like cassette cases. That'd be awesome. I just don't have the time for it or the space. So
I was
that's
gonna
the only
ask,
thing.
and actually the cassette tape one it would be pretty damn cool because then those
Mhm.
are in well, they're somewhat in ready abundance because SD cards, and I'm not talking about micro SD card, I'm talking about SD cards is what it
Mhm.
uses. Those don't really have a case that has the insert or anything like that. So
Right.
there's no real SD card. Like I assume that SD cards won't fit in a Switch case. I assume that they don't.
Mhm.
Maybe they
Yeah.
do. If they fit in a Switch case, then you could literally just buy blanks. But
Mhm.
it's like, how do you display it cool? And then
Yeah.
what do you do with it? Because like there's different DVD cases and stuff that hold like cards, like cue cards or whatever, or other stuff
Hmm.
that you can get creative with. But then again, the timing, don't have the time. This guy does
Time
not have the
and the
time.
space too, man. Because I mean, it's getting close. I'm going to be getting a Switch 2 very, very soon. And I mean, granted, I don't know if I'm going to get as much Switch 2 games. I mean, I'm going to not. I don't really want to get the game cards, so that's kind of like out the window. But I want to have more room for Switch, especially if I get the Switch 2. And this is, if this
Yeah.
is going to be like the Switch and we have it, going for another decade, then I mean, there's gonna be a lot of games regardless.
Oh, well, and if like you could take the Kazeta OS and make it a standalone little box that could be plugged into a PC,
Yeah.
I feel like that would give it credence, but it wouldn't work like that because it's its
Mhm.
own standalone. But to me, it's like I'm thinking used to publish games. Like, could I get with an indie developer and put their game out and do a cool, fun release, like a legit releases for their games? And you don't have the convenience factor of being able to plug and play it somewhere
Yeah.
that everybody already has. So you're creating like, all right, now you got to release a Kazeta like system if you
Yeah.
want that. And just add it. And it's like so this fun, cheap alternative where you could sell something for like 20 bucks physicals.
This
Wouldn't be doable.
this would be perfect for UFO 50. I'm just saying. Like you imagine if like if we had a UFO 50 special edition that came with it, like the actual little console that was just cassetta, and then you had all the little carts on little
Well,
SD. That'd be so cool.
well, I'll tell you what I would do. Like once I stop moving all the damn time, is I would have a classic like setup in my Switch kiosk. And
Mm,
you have a cassette machine with the switch. So you have the switch, and then the cassette machine right next to it that's mounted. And then literally you can just switch the inputs on the television. Because I would say like you put it in an arcade and make it an arcade, but I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to stand up and use the
yeah.
arcade. The actual Switch kiosk is also the same as playing a Switch on a television. So I could have it next to my main section. And then what I did was I literally had like almost two TVs, but it's a
Hmm.
dedicated setup for Switch. I played way more Switch doing it that way, by the way. So if
Hmm.
I had a Kazeta, it would be with that, switch the input on it, and then I could literally plug and play games into the actual kiosk to play
Hmm.
indie games. And I think like UFO 50 would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Maybe you do it and then we like do an indie credible podcast curated collection of ones that we do. We're like, hey, we're gonna do UFO 50, and then that's how we play our indie credibles and we make it
Yeah.
part of the legacy of the podcast. But
That would
it's
be
gotta
cool.
be way in the future.
Yeah.
And but again, it would have to be curated to a point where it doesn't turn into, all right, now I gotta do all of the games in the world because I'm
Yeah.
OCD.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, though, as we see the physical media just kind of being stagnant with AAA gaming and everything. It's cool to see that the gamers and different communities are getting together and like we're gonna have physical media in one way or another. You know, even if we have to like make our own pseudo plug and play. Because I mean, this would be cool for kids too. Like if you're a parent that has, PC games and stuff like that, and you want your kid to play, I mean, that would be a great way to have them pick up and play without messing anything up. You know, they have their own console at that point. It's cool.
Well, and I think this takes what Zapparoo does, which was the tap two cards, where they had the game on a card and then it would link it to where the game is at, essentially. I think that takes that to the next level because it's the games are on the SD card, which is
Hmm.
cool. That's preservation. That you can put anything you want on it because the size of SD cards is still not expensive. I just don't think you can do like affordably like a 4 terabyte or something. It would be
Yeah.
impossible. But like that it's exciting, but it needs to be plug and play practical, or cheap to have a little set-top box that plays everything, and then we don't know the reliability. But
Mm.
you mentioned something, it's a good transition. With SilkSong coming out, there's a bunch of indie developers now that are worried because they released SilkSong at $20, man. $20.
And it came out of nowhere, man. I remember being at work and I went on my phone and everyone was like, Silk Song just came out. And I'm like, what? Like I didn't know when it was coming out. It just like it came and it was here. And it was
Well,
20
I think it
bucks.
I think it was like a week ago that they said at Gamescom they announced that it's launching on September 4th. And I think
Hmm.
we talked about it last week or something.
We
So
may we may have.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Xander brain scrambles.
But
But I didn't know the price. So when
mhm.
it dropped at $20. And so what we're seeing is there's a few indie devs, they were quoted by a bunch of YouTubers, but they're more so concerned that if because there's millions of people that are going to buy this game. I mean, it's already like over a million, maybe
Yeah,
more now.
it's all
You had
over.
you had the highest concurrent playing on Steam ever. I think it broke the internet, broke Nintendo Switch, or broke Steam stores when it first launched. You couldn't download it. I was at work, so I didn't get it until I got home that day, and so.
Mhm.
But it sets a precedence that this is what consumers, customers are going to feel is a $20 value game.
Mhm.
And this game is, they could have charged 40 easily and it would have been like, yeah, no problem. People would have no problem bought it. And that's what a lot of people were saying. However, Team Cherry is independently wealthy because Hollow Knight made them millions of dollars. So they
Mhm.
just that's why they took their time. They took their time with Silksong. They made
Yeah.
exactly how they wanted to. They had fun. They didn't rush things. They made sure that they made the game they wanted to make. And then when they were ready to launch it, they're like, yeah, we're going to release it in a week or two. Because
Yeah.
it's polished, it's good to go, it's fully done. And then they released that $20 because they can literally their small team that they have with a few, like they have stuff where they have contracted out like music and things with the same musician from the first game. But it's like
Mhm.
a team of like 3 programmers, and then they got like people helping with the fun stuff. And so they decided that they were just gonna like drop it. And they put it at $20 and they want to make sure everybody can play it.
I think people were just excited to see a new game come out that wasn't freaking $70 too. Because I mean,
Yeah.
gaming is. I mean, like we cover a lot of really affordable games. Every once in a while, we might go into a new and noteworthy that might be more. Like it might be a $30 game or something like that. But for the most part, I mean, like games have gotten so expensive. So to have a game as prestigious as Silksong be $20, I mean, because I mean, look at Shinobi. Shinobi came out last week and I was looking it up on Steam, and this is, for a digital game, it's still $30. And there's a physical as well. And it's just kind of like, do I spend $30 for a digital copy of Shinobi, or do I buy it physical? And I could just spend $20 on Silksong too. Like
And
interesting.
I realized why I couldn't find Shinobi at GameStop the other week. I was like looking, I'm like, it's released. They got to have the physical copy at the GameStop. I forget that we're in 2025. And I looked online. Yep, it's limited run and I'm not going to see it for a year. And I'm like, damn it. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to play it physically on Switch too and enjoy myself. So now I'm just going to play it digitally with my copy that I'm going to have. I haven't really dived into it yet.
Oh yeah.
But
I only played the demo. The demo was fun. I mean,
yeah.
but like we said earlier, we got that Steam sale going around the corner, and that's kind of what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting to see if it goes on sale on Steam because I mean, like it's good, but it's like $30 compared to like I said, SilkSong's like $20. You know?
Well, and but we've all been waiting for SilkSong for
Oh yeah.
6 years, 6 years. So it's like it's one of those beasts. But the thing is that yeah. So the fact that it got stuck in the limited pre-order mantras,
Mhm.
unfortunate. 'Cause there's a Sega game. I'm like Sega's got to have it at the.
I don't
I'm
know
like,
why. I don't know why Sega's doing that. They're doing so much with limited run, which I mean, it's okay, but at the same time, like limited run, I think of like indie developers who can get their games on physical media, but now it's
oh,
Like Sega, come on, like they re-released Yakuza 0 physically. I'm like, why do I want that? I got Yakuza 0 day one on PS4 physically. Like, why do I want to buy it?
okay.
It's
Say,
like, I don't know.
look at Xander with his rose-colored glasses, pre-Embracer Group limited run. You're talking pre-Embracer Group.
I
Now that they
know.
have Embracer Group that bought them out, they have all the IPs. They are the biggest physical publisher. Now,
Mm,
let's not because like while I don't like waiting and I would love to play the game physically on release, I'm not ragging on what they're doing because in
yeah.
the end, now we're gonna get Shinobi with a bunch of cool shit.
Mm,
I typically don't go crazy tchotchke expanded vert collector's editions. My collector's editions, I want to have a tactile function. That's why, like when I did my own publishing, I did deluxes with strategy guides, like stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, a CD soundtrack, or and I don't even have a freaking CD player anymore, so I don't even know what I would do now if I was doing it in 2025. But it's like maybe cassette tapes, but
Mm,
just
there
go
you go.
stupid with it. But it has to be something either from the world, like that makes sense. Like if it was like in Hollow Knight Silk Song, I would release the bells because you collect
Yeah.
bells. I would do a bell with it or something, but like not like I don't know cards and like a
Mm,
card's cool because the card's easy to collect, but like stickers, I always hated doing stickers. I had
yeah.
developers that really want stickers, so I would do them because I mean it's their baby. But like I'm like I don't like the tchotchkes, and
Yeah.
so it's just like there's a lot of tchotchkes that'll go with it, but they're like standard release is gonna have a damn manual likely it'll have a manual, and so that makes it already cool. Because if Sega just did it at GameStop, there wouldn't have been a manual. It'd just been the physical
Right.
release, and so there is a good thing with
Mm.
it jumping into the limited spaces, as we'll say. Because it's Sega, though, and we've seen it before, there's likely going to be a Japanese release that's going to be cheaper and
Yeah.
have more content on it that'll also be out there because Limited Run also typically doesn't do exclusivity. So other people pick it up, but and then it turns into do I want this Japanese version or do I want the limited run version? And it to me it depends on the box art.
I
Honestly,
was about
that's
to say which one has the coolest cover art. That's what's
yep.
going to make me go towards that because the art to the new Shinobi is really really good. It's done by the same folks that did Streets of Rage 4. It's got this really cool like airbrush painting kind of feel to it. I really do like the art style.
Yeah, it was Streets of Rage 4 and Monster Boy. Or
Oh
not Monster
yeah.
Boy, Wonder Boy. The Wonder Boy, the
Yeah.
first one. The first one. Monster Boy was the later, different
Yeah.
people. But Wonder Boy with the freaking you could flip between
Yeah, the
the
Dragon's
original and the
Trap.
new.
Oh
You could
yeah.
do the original and the it was so cool. Like that company, I love what they do. And the fact that they did, Shinobi is so cool. And they did amazing with Streets of Rage 4. And that was one of the ones I beat that year. It's freaking awesome. But to go back as we went down the river,
Yeah.
as Kyle and I would say back then, the bullshit river flowed really
Yeah.
well for us. But the $20 precedence. So our podcast is the reason why y'all shouldn't be worried, indie developers. There's 30, 40,000 games a year The fact that SilkSong is setting a precedence is cool, and it will give the casual gamer a mindset of what the expectation is.
Mm,
So, our backlogs are proof of it. Quality versus quantity. Like, we cover a few games a week and we're scratching the damn surface, but we're going through and hand curating games that look cool to us. Now, these games that we talk about in our new and noteworthy, they may not make it into our final backlogs. And if it's released physically, it may not be something that we pick up because we're talking about what piques our interest.
yeah.
But the quality of the content on your games, the greatness of the gameplay, the music, if it freaking connects with us,
Hmm.
the different ways that the animation flows with the graphics. Because I don't say the graphics because I like retro just as much as modern. It has to
Flow.
con flow, connect. It just the aesthetics, and I'm talking about the artistry of the
Mm.
graphics, just need to like connect with us. So in other words, y'all need to be the damn hipster indie gaming artist that we are, and just make something that connects with your with gamers and create something inspiring. And that is easier said than freaking done, Xander.
Yeah.
Like we're
Well,
we're talking we want you to create gems every fucking time. It ain't gonna happen. However, that's what we're talking about is like, don't worry about the price point, worry about what you can get done within your budget as an indie developer. Because again, like this team, they had all the time in the world. If you have a
mm,
timeline, you have all this extra stuff, those are all complications. And
mm,
so, like, if you got to charge 30 bucks, 40 bucks, and it's a good quality game, it's fine. SilkSong should have been 40 bucks. We would have paid it. But the developers
mm,
are cool as shit and they put it down for 20, and it's awesome. Team Cherry's great. Like, hats off to them for releasing it at 20 bucks. But if you like, I think it was Lone Fungus was one of the developers super worried about their second game, and can I charge 20 bucks? Because it's not the scope of a Hollow Knight SilkSong. And it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, you can charge 30,
yeah.
40 bucks. If it costs you all this time and money and you're not independently wealthy with millions of dollars, like, you can charge what you feel like your game is worth. And if it's
Yeah.
great, like, gamers will pay it.
Yeah, don't feel like just because you're an indie developer that you just need to lowball your game. Like, oh, I'm indie, so it's got to be under $10. It's like, yeah, people will love it if it's under $10. We'll definitely probably cover it in our budget or something like that. But I mean, if you feel like, hey, this is a $20 game, try it out. That's the way I look at it.
Well, and like, I don't new and noteworthy. I don't look at price
Yeah, we
until we're
just
until we're
look at the
actually
game.
covering it on the episode. Then we're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's this much. Like, that's always a surprise to me. It's like, oh, this is actually $40,
Mhm.
but it's still great. I'm still gonna check it out. It's still in my wish list. Like, it's wish listable stuff. And
Yeah.
then we're looking at waiting for sales if it's super expensive, especially if it's not something that immediately, like Silksong, connects with us. And we're like, all right, we already been waiting on this. We know the developer has a penchant for quality, already track proven record. When you don't have the track record that's proven, then we're talking about you're gonna have to kind of earn the trust within the
Yeah.
community. And it
Yeah,
doesn't mean to
'cause
drop your game down to $10.
yeah.
No.
Well, I think before we go into the new and noteworthy, let's talk about Silk Song now.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the transition
Yeah.
because we also saw like a lot of these developers delayed their games. And there's a
Mm.
game, and we're gonna follow up on it maybe next week, but the adventure of Samsara
Oh,
is
is
an
that
is
the new Yacht Club game?
no, man, this
Okay.
is an indie game that's a Metroidvania that was released the same day as SilkSong. It's a Metroidvania.
Oh.
And it was published by Atari, but it was released by Ilex Games, I think it is. Ilex
Hmm.
Games, which Ilex Games has done a lot of indie stuff. This is the first, I think this is the first one that's published by Atari because they've been published by a bunch. But Adventures of Samsara is another $20 game, and they already have it on sale for 10% off. So,
Oh
but
wow.
literally, they are the one that I noticed. There's probably more that they're the bigger game that has come out because it's 2D pixel art freaking Metroidvania with
Mm.
exploration. And it looks fucking cool, but they're the one that didn't delay. So they released the same day as Hollow Knight. And I would be interested to know how they were affected because they only have 10 reviews right now on Steam. When you're talking,
Mm,
SilkSong broke the internet. So
yeah.
but this game looks badass. It has an aesthetic of oh, like the more simpler pixel art with like no, you can't see the face because it's like really smaller spray. It looks great, but
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if we actually follow up and play because we'll cover it in more depth on a new and noteworthy or something because I have it in my backlog already to play. It's
Oh,
on my wish
nice.
list.
Yeah,
So
I just added it to my wish list while we were talking because I didn't
yeah,
really know too much about the game, to be honest. I mean,
well,
that shows you right there. I didn't know
well.
that, but I sure knew about Silk Song.
Well, what helped them get into my radar was that they didn't delay. So now I'm like,
Mm,
oh, well, who are they? Let me add them to my wish list. But I'm in that obsessive Metroidvania, writing books on it mindset. So it's like, I think that's an interesting thing that they decided to go on same release day as the Metroidvania, maybe game of the year candidate. So
yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah.
Like, good
So,
luck, guy.
but so with that being said, how have you gotten far in Silk Songs? I'm kind of stuck, to be honest, but I'm loving it.
Oh,
I'm
oh.
stuck right now though.
Okay. So the first night I got it, downloaded it, installed it, and then we went, it was my anniversary. And so
That's right.
15-year anniversary, and we went and got the meat sweats as Fogo de Chao. I can't say it right. My one of the guys at work gives me crap because I can't say Fogo de Chao the right way. But got the meat sweats. I had to download it, so I actually didn't. I played it to the first save point the next morning on Friday morning. But then, and then after work, I'm like, am I going to play it? And then I'm like, we're going to watch movies. So we watched some movies, which was way cooler. So Saturday, which was yesterday, I played it for a bunch of hours, got really far, got past all the stuff that people are getting hung up on because let's be honest, they had not ramped up the difficulty, but it's much harder than Hollow Knight because the barrier to entry is that you have played Hollow Knight. It
Yeah.
really is contingent on you. And I played through Hollow Knight and I had to get through that damn, I call it the glass ceiling of roguelike, Souls-like Metroid, not roguelike, Souls-like Metroidvanias, because you're expected to be good with the controls. So
Hmm.
first time I played Hollow Knight, I hit that glass ceiling. I got frustrated and I stopped playing it. And it was like months later, maybe even a year later. And then like it was like a holiday and I picked it up. I it clicked. And then I got all the way and beat the game. And I played it for like 20, 30 hours or something. So like that memory was ingrained. When I picked up Silk Song, I didn't jump in and start to try to like grind out through the world. I first learned the controls and jumped around and like collected some of the little shards and the different collectible items because I knew that that would be currency to unlock normal Metroidvania features because that's what Hollow Knight did. So if you want a
Yeah.
damn map, if you want a little compass thing so it shows where your character, like the shit that you use, and I use that to navigate. You have to unlock it with the bells in this one. So I went through and made sure I did that. Like, so where are you stuck at? And then I'll tell you where I'm at after. So where are you stuck at? Because I'm pretty
I
damn far. 'Cause I played it for like a bunch of hours. I went and did a talk with a room of 100 junior and non-commissioned officers in the military, and then we went to dinner, and then I played it a little bit later too. So I played it like two different stints.
Yeah, I'm stuck now where I just beat the red mole guy with the shovel or the pickaxe. I just beat him, and then you go to the next area, and there's like these red flowers that you have to dive and jump around with. That's
Red mole guy. Number
yeah.
one,
He's an insect. He's an
Hollow Knight is
insect.
all insects, and I'm pretty sure that's like an ant or something.
Yeah, yeah, it's an ant.
Pretty sure it's an ant. That is the boss that's giving the mid boss that's giving everybody a lot of headache because they can't get past him.
Oh, I beat the shit
Um,
out of him though.
well, and so and so like the first boss is the first boss is the telling one because like you file these little green guys and then you get the big green guy and then you have to fight them and then they have things falling. But for me, it seems like, and I don't know if I'm just used to like faster paced Metroidvanias now, but it felt like that stuff was in like slow motion. And like,
Mm.
yeah, I died a bunch, but like, I'm talking about like it was dying on my own accord. And then I just had to like get good and make sure that when it does the certain towel that I'm jumping over or whatever.
Yeah.
And so when I got to that guy, it was like you've been fighting the red guys, but I didn't avoid the red guys. I fight through a lot of stuff.
Mm.
The one thing that a lot of people are criticizing right now is that as you're going through backtracking all that, the enemies are respawning and you have to continue. You're like slugging through the enemies. That's when, because I went through and did the initial grind, I don't need to worry about grinding the bell things and the little shards because I have enough. And so I'm kind of when I'm backtracking, I'm kind of doing like like swiping and pogoing and jumping through because instead of doing like the pogo, you have like a little dive now.
Yeah. Which is challenging. It's because
However,
you have to get the right precise jab in there.
and I think a lot of reviewers haven't gotten to where I'm at because you have multiple weapons that you unlock. So I went through
Mm.
this little trial thing yesterday, and now I have a almost a Reaper scythe swipe. And so now it does like a
Okay.
swipe and it does the pogo swipe.
Okay.
So I can
Nice.
literally swipe down now. I'm not sure if it pogo's the same because I just got it and then I had to we were gonna watch a movie last night, so I went to a save point. But yeah, so I got the swipe thing. I go by progression in this is how many new abilities have you unlocked. So
Mm.
so there's multiple abilities that you unlock and then it opens up the game. So the first major ability is you can throw your needle.
Yeah, I got that.
This
And I got
you can
the little shuriken things that you can throw too, like ninja
You got
stars.
shurikens, and then there is the little air dash.
Mm.
And the air dash also, when you hold down R2, can you can run and do acrobatics on them.
Oh,
You can
that's
like jump over gaps and shit.
that'd be perfect.
Coming right after that. And then the next ability that you unlock is and some of these are done through like fetch quest little things. So this one and this is where I got stuck. So I got to a point where I'm in this underground with all these shooting geysers and I got stuck because I couldn't go back. And I'm looking, I'm like going over here, going over here. I got to the seamstress. She's like, I need you to find me these spines, these enemy spines or whatever, like
Mm.
whatever, flexible spines. Um, but like I saw like one enemy and I'm like, I barely got one. And I'm like looking around, there's no more enemies. So I'm like, I'm freaking soft locked. No. When you get to that point, Xander, there's these little puffball enemies and they shoot out spikes. If you
Mm.
slash the spikes, that creates the item you need for that. So just
Oh,
FYI,
okay.
I didn't realize it until I'm like, oh, that fucking little needle thing. So, and it'll shoot like four this way, six, splitting it out. And when
Hmm.
they stick into the wall, you can just swipe it and then it creates the little item you need. It only does it during that portion when you need to get it. Once you get all those, you unlock, she tailors you a new, new shirt or whatever that she has and you can like float like
Oh yeah.
Princess Peach float almost. And that creates crazy shit. So like what's awesome is like the progression of it. So you learned how to walk through the game and fight, and then you get the little air dash thing, which you can air dash and dash a little bit. You're right there with the air dash area
Mm.
because what it's you're in the red area and you got to like swipe to propel yourself on these little flowers, and it's timing.
Yeah.
There's one spot, it's fucking frustrating. I'm already warning you. Like, cause it's
I,
like
I
five swipes in a row to get up to a platform.
that's the part that I'm stuck at because I did the first one and I'm like, oh man, that was kind of challenging. That wasn't so bad. And then like it kind of throws you in a loop because it doesn't show you the rest of them until you start going up. So I'm sitting there go bop bop bop, and then I'm like, son of a bitch. There's like two more I gotta
Yeah.
go through, and I'm like, great. But yeah,
I'm
it's all
pretty
about
sure
timing.
when you're going up the really tall catacomb and then there's the five one, I'm pretty sure I got past that finally after a long time. It was like 30 minutes trying to get to past that one spot. Um, I think there wasn't shit up there because it was still there was an ability I needed to get past. So
Yeah.
because there's still like a grapple hook looking things. There's like these little rings I see, and I don't have the ability for that yet. Like stuff
Hmm.
like that. And you can and if you get enough bells, which I have, you can unlock little tokens. So when you get a map for the area, you can token it. The interesting thing is, though, is that I got past the whole level without finding the map girl. There's a girl
Mm,
that gives you them. I didn't find the map
yeah.
girl, so I got through a whole fucking biome, and I don't have the map. So I couldn't have marked
Uh,
nothing the whole time I was there. So it's gonna be interesting when I actually find her again, because I think she'll sell you older maps that you've missed too.
hmm.
And I'll be like, oh, I missed a whole fucking section that I just didn't go through because I was just wandering through it. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Sorry, I'm glitching again. My freaking camera's
yeah.
messing up.
Remember that the audio podcasters, they don't see videos.
Yeah, I'm
We
gonna
can.
edit. I'm gonna edit all this out, like the glitching stuff.
You just put cool Hollow Knight
Oh yeah.
stuff.
Let's see. Hold on, give me
I mean,
one
the whole
moment.
time when you fixed it, the whole time it was you were glitching. I couldn't watch you at all, anyways. So
Yeah, give me one
yeah,
moment.
you were like
Yeah.
in slow motion, like you were in the early. No. Hey, your camera's perfect now.
Oh yeah, it's good now. Okay. So
Also,
getting
so for the Silk Song piece though, right now I am loving it. It is harder, mind you, but I also came from a enjoyment where Silk Song's the game that got me ready for the Dark Souls like. So I got the appreciation of dying with that. It no longer bothers me. I don't give a shit anymore. I played it so long that I had a divot in my fucking hand because like I was telling you, with the Pro 3, I'm using the D-pad for Silksong, and there's like little micro switches under the Pro 3, so you can feel it a little bit. So it's almost a little analog on top of the digital. So like I don't play it, which is weird, with the analog. So maybe that's why I'm doing better because
hmm.
the last boss that I just fucking fought. He was like a giant motherfucker, and it was crazy. I died a lot. It was insane. But like it's like these giant big arms sweeping away the fucking lava, and then you had to like jump between them and hit him in the head, and it was crazy. It was fucking nuts. It was cool as shit, but
Damn, that's freaking crazy.
yeah.
Well, what else is crazy is getting into our new
What
and
else is
noteworthy.
crazy, Thunder?
Getting into our new and noteworthy this week. Yeah, because there's other games out there other than Silksong, believe it or not. Over
What else is out
40,000.
there?
Well, starting first with a little game called Supra World.
Supra World. And this is a interesting one because there's another game that was like almost the same name, Supra World, that I always saw was like listed as a Metroidvania. It's called Supra Land.
Ah.
And there's like a bunch of Super Lands. And so Super World is the tiny handcrafted toy world. And it just looks really fucking crazy.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't look indie. Like it looks so good. Like I was the amount of detail with the shadows and how everything looks so ultra realistic, and it's almost like the Toy Story game that I've always wanted to play. Because I mean, it's like first person view, and there's like just so much going on. Like you're moving objects and setting up traps and shooting water balloons and all. I mean, this game looked really cool.
Oh, and the original Superland, they say it's like a mix between Portal, Zelda, and Metroid, which
Mm.
all of those are in my fucking alley, like all day. Like I love that shit. This one has like a huge story with like convict murders and hunting powerful abilities. And like this stuff, it kind of reminds me of like a little bit of Katamari feel just from the graphic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely with that.
But then
I
it's
can
like
see
first,
that.
it's almost first person shooter. But the reason why they say Portal is like your gun is like a little interesting. It's almost like Legos. Like
Yeah,
it's so fucking cool. It looks so good. It's early access right now, so it was in early access since the middle of August. But like it just looks so good. It reminds me of like Micro Machine style, where you're like in like somebody's game room and you're like a little character running around, like your little like figures or something. It just looks fucking fun, man.
yeah, and like you said, it is currently in early access. This is a $30 game too. I mean, and like kind of going piggyback on what we were talking about earlier, like this looks like a $30 game. Like it looks great. Like totally worth
Oh,
it.
Well, and we won't know if it's worth it till you actually play it
That's
too.
true. That's true.
That's the other thing. Like we won't know, but it has the for what it looks like with content and everything, it looks like it's worthy of, your money.
But speaking of carrying it, this game looks cool because you learn something from this game. It's not just an RPG, but this game actually teaches you Japanese. This is
Wa
Wagotabi
Wagotabi.
Wagotabi, a Japanese
Wago
journey.
Wagotabi. Yeah. Wagotabi is also the name of the developer, Wagotabi Limited. And so they literally create this game based off of their company. So educational RPG teaching Japanese from the ground up. Immerse yourself in a language through interactive dialogues, quest solving, and puzzles while exploring Japan and its rich culture. So to me, like as I was on trying to learn Japanese using the phone for so long, this might be a perfect example of, teaching me further how to enjoy Japanese. Because this is my
Mhm.
biggest thing. I wanted to learn Japanese because I like to listen to, Japanese movies and anime and things like that. And then it's also like playing NES games and shit. So it's
Yeah.
like I always wanted to. Well, this actually has English and then people will attack you. You have to actually like draw with your mouse the kanji and you have to like they'll shoot enemy stuff at you and you have to actually know what they mean as you're going so that we can get rid of the attacks. So it allows you to mitigate attacks through knowing what the Japanese characters are. It's cool.
And it's awesome, man. I thought this was a really cool game. I mean, it does have a demo, so you can try it out. And if you're like, man, I want to go further, you can spend about $10. That's how much the game is, about $10 right now. But I
$10.
think this is great. I mean, this is the kind of way that I would probably learn the language a little quicker. I'm more of a hands-on kind of interactive kind of person when I'm learning new things. So this is great. I think this would be great for someone wanting to learn Japanese for sure.
Oh yeah, there's been a few games we've covered where it teaches you Japanese, and this one seems like a really cool one.
Indeed, indeed. And this next one, this next one is a 2D based game with a box-like map. This is
A box-like map. That's
I
their
I have
like
no
why
idea what a box-like map is.
developers don't market a box-like map when your game looks freaking as beautiful as this game. This game's called JOR Dawn Dew, Journey of Realm, but it's Journey of Realm Dawn Dew. This game looks freaking amazing. Looks beautiful, but they're like it's you should highlight the beautiful artistry of your game with with the amazing looking graphical aesthetics that it's going.
And it looks like a very like old, looks almost like a old school RPG with all the, it's got so many menus. That was one, that was one of the first things I noticed. I was like, holy menus, Batman. I mean, there's a lot of menus. So, I mean, I'm really curious about how this game plays. There is a demo. So I'd like to try it out because, sometimes menus can kind of, if it's like too much, it kind of becomes kind of overwhelming at that point. But,
Well, and when I see this, it's like the way that the graphics look and everything. I don't know if this company is overseas, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's
mm,
like it's just one of those where as we get into, you know, different indie games, you can kind of see because it's like official ENG trailer is what it says too. So it's like, okay, so this was released in a different area, like maybe Japan, China, somewhere else
hmm
first. Probably China. But the battle system, though, reminiscent of Mario and Luigi series, where you're on the left side as you attack enemies. It also gives it a little bit of a roguelike back with the tactical side is what I'm seeing. Chinese. It's the languages are traditional Chinese. That's why I see
ah,
it now. Now I see it. But it's like turn-based tactics. I'm not a huge fan of turn-based tactics, but these graphics look good. It also
mhm.
looks very, very. I don't know if it's too similar to there's the double games for the Metroidvania where it has your character that looks exactly like this, and you have like the little familiars with you as you play through it.
Oh
Can't think of the
yeah.
name. can't think of the name of the game, but it looks exactly like that. That's what it first looked like to me.
Hmm.
But it does have 2D platforming aspects as well as RPGs. It looks cool. For $11, that's not terrible.
Nah.
And 99, and it has a demo to play, so you could play the demo, and if it connects with you, because what I can't tell from the trailers and everything is how the actual, because of this graphical aesthetic, if the animation isn't great, I don't know what animation is, but the battle animation looks awesome.
Yeah. I, and like I said, I definitely want to try it out. I just as long as the menus aren't too convoluted and
uh
sometimes games try just to do too much. I'm just like, dude, calm down. I don't need all this customization. I start to lose
I,
interest with it. But this game, speaking,
I think you're going to be disappointed with that. It looks like the
yeah,
menus are insane.
the menu does look crazy. But scaling it back to more, symmetrical, colorful, simple kind of RPG. And I say
Yeah.
simple, I don't mean simple as in like difficulty, but more an art style. This game, Fae Falling.
Well,
Um,
for me, looking at this at Faith Falling, like just the graphics, number one gives you a retro Hollow Knight feel, which is not Hollow Knight. I said Hollow Knight, Undertale feel. Like it just gives you it looks amazing. Like this, and this is where it's the style over substance. You can do retro style in a modern way. You have the crazy dashes that give you your particles and all the cool shit, but then you don't overdo it, right?
mhm.
And a lot of mini games, it seems like.
Yeah, it says some of the reviews, like the Xbox Hub says, has a great tone and story that is engaging and at times poetically mournful. Faith Falling is a great experience and extremely impressive game. And right now it's currently 7.99. There is oh, that's the soundtrack. I thought that was DLC, but the DLC is the soundtrack. But yeah, it's like an $8 game. It looks cool. I like the aesthetics a lot. The simplicity and the color scheme's really cool.
I like too is that like you have your battles, the turn-based battles for the game, but you get to just like in Undertale, you can evade enemy attacks by dodging them, and they're
Mhm.
all little quick mini games. But what I like about that is it gives you the ability within your own control to avoid taking damage, which means that you can literally get better and better as you play. Then the exploration, it's just like from the pixel graphics and the backgrounds, it just looks really, really cool. Like a Tunic style, but like in pixel graphics, like without the 3D. It just looks really good. There's a game that I played. Again, my brain is not working this morning, but there is a game that was on this type of overhead access that I played. Oh, what the hell was it? Damn, I'll think of it later. But it was retro just like this, especially when I'm looking at like as the characters walking around and stuff. It looks very similar. Yeah, I think it was. It's definitely I can't think of it, but yeah, it looks similar to some others, which takes it. Maybe it takes inspiration,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love it. I love it when it does that stuff. It looks
Eh,
really, really good.
Speaking of inspiration, this game
Oh,
has
you're
this
the inspiration.
this game has this inspiration on its sleeve. I mean, this one right here, Toyland Tussle. It's only 2.99, but it's a Cuphead.
Oh,
It's a Cuphead clone essentially.
yeah,
But my
exciting single boss fight.
my question is though, I mean, is that the only fight in the game is against this eight? Is there more to it?
I have no idea. Like
Because they
to
kind of
me,
I was like reading about it, and it's like that's the only thing they really showed. And I'm reading about it, and it kind of makes it sound like it's just it says they beat all three phases to defeat him, and it's like they're kind of just talking about this guy, this gorilla. So
maybe Toyland Tussle is a single battle Cuphead inspired.
yeah, it's a
I
micro
mean,
Cuphead.
for me, like I couldn't imagine in making something of that scale and scope. You imagine the artwork and the skill required.
Oh
So like
yeah,
I guess this is what it is maybe it's just a hand drawn and they'll continue to work on it. Um, I mean, there's 40 positive reviews. It feels like Cuphead in its early development stage. I
Mm.
hope they add updates with full custom control mapping. So apparently there's no custom control.
Ah,
Love to, I would love to play this game, beat the boss, but the key binds are so bad and can't be changed.
that's a bummer.
So keybind, Xander, let's give the listeners a little bit of a interesting piece. Use Joy 2 key. That's all you got to do. You got the key
Yeah.
mapping, Joy to key, bind it to your controller. That's what you do. So when you have a game, because we play lots of indie, when you have a game that doesn't support controllers, just use the Joy to key or key to Joy, I think it is. I think I Xander scrambled it. But
Yeah.
anyways, use that program. I have it installed right on my Joy, it's Joy 2 key. I was right. Um, yeah, and you literally do that so that way you can play it on your controller. So that way it doesn't matter what the bindings are. You can create a profile for that game real quick and then you play it. And if you like it, you can leave it. If you're not, when you're done, you're done.
Mm.
It's wild. Everybody says a bit rudimentary, but it's the dev's first game. Like I think it's pretty cool. And somebody said exactly what you said. So you're literally copying this reviewer's and says it's a game that wears its inspiration on its sleeve.
The classic
And
YouTube banter.
yeah, now the recommended guy does say it is only one boss.
Ah, which I mean
So
is it's probably a taste of what to come. I
well,
mean,
if it's their first project and they went to do, you don't do your Cuphead your first project, everyone.
yeah.
You make something that's a full game simple. But if that's their first one, that's freaking cool. Like that's badass. And $3, we're checking it out, especially if they do a Steam sale and get under $1. We'll cover it again.
Oh yeah.
Eh, here.
And the next one is a
Mm.
little space, a little bit of space in there. No Way Home. It's a twin stick shooter, which I'm really happy with. I love twin stick shooters.
Yeah, well, and what I like is that it does a like a horizontal shoot 'em up style, but it does it in the you can move everywhere around on a map.
Hmm.
Looter shooter is what it's called, but there's been a few games out over the years that hit this niche, and I mean, there's a few NES games that do this. There's a few classics, and I mean, Solar Jetman did this back
Yeah.
um, but this one just looks really, really cool. The graphics look awesome. Like it looks like it has a little fun story to it. And I mean, it's a $10 game. It has a demo. And let's see what it has here because it has chaotic, large open environments, tactical cover precision and timing. And what I get in now, Xander, and this is something to be important to talk about. So there's no permadeath. It has classic adventure zones with respawning. It has quick arcade mode loops. What I like is that this is like a more of a big map because I am very cautious with roguelikes now, with the
Yeah.
vampire survivor likes and just play, kill, die, start over, play, kill, die, start over when it comes to these games because there's so many now. This I have to like find the ones that look like worlds and shit that stick out. This one sticks out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love the art style. I just wish it was multiplayer. I hate that it's just single player. I think this would be a cool multiplayer game.
Oh yeah, I mean, just from like the maps and everything, it reminds me of the Lovers game, and we play like four players doing all your shit. Like everybody had their own little mission and stuff, but like, imagine if you had like two little pods. Because you remember with the Game Pass 3DS, and you had like the little pods,
Hmm.
like the pod game where you did the three, and you can get like two, three, four characters. Like that's what this graphics remind me of. This like the initial and but like in a full fucking world. Imagine if we could go through two players and like running through like Smash TV style, but through a
Yeah.
world, playing through a game. Like you and I, we've been looking for the game for us to play while you stream, where we can like literally jump in and like play through like a world
Yeah.
cooperatively. We haven't found it yet, but we're looking for the right one. We don't want to just like do that. We're gonna do two-player mode, and then we're gonna play online games and skip around a bunch till we find something that's cool. We want to find something that's cool to start with.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
exactly.
this would be a perfect example of a game that if it was online co-op, oh my God. But it itself though, $10 game looks fucking cool. It's in the backlog. I
Oh
guess.
yeah. This one's in my backlog, definitely, because I've said it before how much I love East Asia Soft. They
Uh-huh.
published this game. And I love my bullet hells. This is Exo-Calibre. Hope I'm saying that
Or
right.
yeah, or yeah, maybe because I'm like, look at I thought Caliber, but like Calibre is RE. Fucking crazy.
But yeah,
And I
this
mean
is
they
this is a great shooter looking game.
oh yeah, it's a overhead horizontal shooter with a ton of anime aesthetics. Not quite cute 'em up, but I mean there's definitely cute 'em up aspects too, because you got your little like little squid guys and stuff.
Yeah,
And the bosses are very colorful. Definitely needs stage a soft style shooter, which I love. And it's like $7, so it's super cheap. And if you don't have a lot of the East Asia Soft games, they have like a bundle for like under $40. You can get like 10 games or something.
and a lot of games in this bundle I've played it or I've reviewed in the past, and they're really good games like Z Warp is awesome. So is Space Wing War. Yeah, they're all really good shooters. If you're a big
Well,
shmup fan.
and let's look at Van Pixel games because that's another interesting thing. So there's a Taco Tan, which Taco is like your that's the second game. Taco
Oh
Tan,
yeah.
which is a horizontally scrolling cuter, where you're the little octopus guy.
Yeah, this
And
this makes you think of Parodius.
exactly. And so that other one has the Taco Tan character in it. And they have also their first game from Joseph Calabro, who was one of the guys who worked for the company in 2017, which is a adventure RPG that is free. So, which is retro style.
That's so
Like
cool.
it. So he went from a retro style RPG to Takotan working with Van Pixel Games to Van Pixel Games working with East Asia Soft doing Excalibur. So you're seeing his little history of this indie developer
That's
and
really
like
cool.
as in Van Pixel, either he reclassed or joined a team, and then now they're published and an amazing, ridiculous cute 'em up, which I am assuming Takotan is this orange. It looks like the exact same character, so he took his character and put him in there, which is freaking
Yeah,
dope.
I
I
like
love it.
that. I
I
like
love
that.
it. So it's like there's a history behind this, which is hard to appreciate if we don't do our backward clicking and looking through and checking. And this is just on Steam, mind you. So
Yeah.
for the listeners, like we're seeing what we see right now, but there could be a much more interesting story. And we've had developers and publishers reach out to us before, but like I want to hear more stories. Anybody wants to ever come on and talk their story of their history of developing and when there's interesting stuff, like sounds cool.
Oh
Hit us up.
yeah. And jumping into the budget this week, we got a couple of budget titles. This one we mentioned in the previous episode. I think it was the last episode, and I definitely want to play it. But we talked about Meganoid. Because
Yeah.
yeah, because Meganoid was kind of a surprise. Like we weren't expecting to talk about that last week because we were just looking at a backlog of current games. We're like, oh yeah, Meganoid. Oh, it's cheap, and right now it was cheap. Now it's not cheap. It's
It's
nine ninety nine.
the sale is done and it ended before this episode, but it is $10, but it was under two for sure at one
Mm-hmm.
point. So even if when you hear these games in our budget section, our budget the budget friendlies, make sure you realize sales will come back. And if it's really cool as we play them, as it's really cool because it's now in my library. um, we'll talk about it and we'll let you know if it's one of those that we really like.
Like I said before, I feel like I have it on the Switch. I haven't turned on my Switch in months. It's been a while. I need to turn my
Hmm.
Switch on and see if I have it in my library because the game looks so familiar. It looks like a game that I would have totally bought off the eShop. So,
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is that like I actually did pop in my Switch because Jesse Glenn, one of the Patreon executive producers, hit me up. There is a on the Japanese eShop for the Switch 2. There is a Super Mario 64 tribute that Nintendo released that's like Mario's face and you can manipulate it and stuff for free.
oh wow.
And so I did that, and then I like, oh, let me look on my Switch eShop, and they updated the eShop to allow you to see your wish list and by clicking a button, it filters by everything that's on sale. Found two games that hit our actual budget section that are on Switch. One is on Steam as well, but I bought it on Switch and I realized I already own it on Steam as well. But this first one I already own on both.
And that one is Deathcron.
Deathcron. And this one's freaking crazy because you think Blaster Master, but you're in a mech, a robot mech suit that you can jump out of.
Which I love it when you can do that in games like
Yeah.
the Paladin game. I can't remember the full title. It was done by
Panzer
Tribute.
Paladin.
Yeah, it was done by Tribute. Really, really good game. But yeah, I love it when you can like hop out of the mech suit and go throughout the different game. You have different abilities and yeah, this game looked freaking
Well,
awesome.
and so far, the character is more like Blaster Master, where he's completely useless when you jump out of the mech, but he can get in little crevices and hit switches and do a little hacking for you. And then when you jump in the mech, that's when you can fight and attack most of the enemies. I did get to, I played it, and I did get to the boss of the first section. It's the giant alligator, which is in the trailer at the very end. I did fight
Mhm.
him, and I died a bunch, but I learned his pattern, and I was able to beat him. So it's one of those where, like in the SilkSong, where you can learn the pattern of the enemies and beat him. So that was pretty cool. And he was challenging as shit. It took a long time to like it takes a lot of hits to kill the bosses. But I did get through the first area by beating that damn alligator bastard. He is a bastard.
Yeah, and for those that are wondering how much it is on Steam, because like we said, currently it's on sale on Switch. It's $5 on Steam. So it's I mean
Yeah.
it's while it's not in the budget when it comes to Steam, that's still a good price. 4.99. You
Mhm.
know, Blaster Master revisited kind of inspiration. That's cool.
And I'm not sure if the Switch sale is still going on or if it paralleled and they did a Steam one at the same time, but it was under $2 when I got it on Steam. And this is the same for the next game, which is on Steam for $15, but I got it under $2 on Switch.
Oh, this game looked fun. This Dadish 3D. I feel like I've heard of Dadish before. Now, have there been
Have
like
you ever
previews?
played Dadish before? Because there are three Dadish games, and a couple years ago, Switch created Daily Dadish on Nintendo Switch. So every day you could only play one level, and it's all 2D, but you could play one level, and it's time based. And so you play the level, it unlocks one new level. It doesn't unlock, you only get to play one level every day, and it's
Oh
a different
wow.
level every day. And you compete with online leaderboards. And you also have like a star that you can unlock if you beat it fast enough. So if you beat it fast enough, you get the star. And if you continue to get stars, you can unlock different datashes. So you can be a different character, different skins with it. And I played that shit for the first year. I played it every day. Like I was like, all right, I got off work. Let me play a quick daily datish. And I didn't always get the star, but I definitely played it. The normal datashes, I've beaten one and two. I'm in three now, and they're slower paced. They're not speed run, and they're really just a platformer where you play level by level. It's like Mario, playing a Mario level.
Hmm.
So you play the level to get to you're the dad, and all these damn radishes are causing trouble, and you got to go save your kids. And then at the end of every level, they say a funny freaking dad joke, a quote. Every level has a quip, and then every world you have a little boss fight at the end. So
I love my
Dadish,
dad jokes.
yeah, and Dadish 3D is this like Mario 64 style, but a platformer, like Mario 64, but a Mario Brothers platform. So like Mario 3D World or something, like where you're just playing through levels, and there's a hidden star in every level. Still, it
Hmm.
looks like there is 50 levels to beat, and there's 40 sassy baby radishes and one screechy possum. I already found the possum. He goes, ah! I don't think I've found the exciting. So it looks like there's five worlds because you got five bosses. But it's just so chill. It is a relaxing, really good pick up and play. You can play a level or two. There's levels where you jump on the back of a anthropomorphic burger with
Oh wow.
shades. and he just walks. And that's a classic that was introduced in Dadish 3. Um, Thomas K. Young is the developer of all these. Pretty sure he's an individual single developer. So
Yeah, Dash 3D looks a lot of fun. That looks like a fun game.
yeah. And they're all on Steam now too, because I thought it was just Switch, but no, they're all here. 2021 is when he did Dadish. And Dadish 2. Next year, he did Dadish 3. And then 2023 did Daily Dadish. And then there's a collection that came out with all of them. And then Dadish 3D this year. He also has Dunkadillo, which I never had heard of. Dunkadillo. He must be working on Dunkadillo.
Huh.
It's like a polygonal 2D platformer.
And going to the next one, this next budget,
Yeah.
man. This doesn't look like a budget. This looks like a really fun little atmospheric top-down hack and slash Gravekeeper. It's currently 79 cents is less than a dollar. This is a great deal. But yeah, this looks like a really fun like hack and slash. I mean, I don't feel like this game's like breaking any barriers to the genre, and sometimes that's okay. You don't have to change the
Well,
world with every single game, you know?
and one thing is we got to be there is another Gravekeeper out there that is $20, same exact name. And
Hmm.
that one is different than this one. This is a single player arcade game that has like 3D PlayStation 2 style graphics. And so it's like has mixed reviews, but it's 79 cents. So
Yeah.
it's on sale though. So the offer ends in a day. So
And
it's a
then
week long. So it's $10 normally.
yeah, I was like, "Woo."
Hack and
Now,
slash, dark fantasy world, fight enemies, beat bosses, get gold. That's what they all say. There's a versus mode here, so it's single player. So I don't know how they do the versus mode single player. Maybe it's like original Double Dragon, we just fight a computer. But yeah, this company has also done Outgrave, which yeah, is Outgrave bundle. Yeah, so this is the only game that this developer has done on Steam. So yeah, Gravekeeper looks cool for 79 cents. I don't know about $10, Xander.
yeah, I don't know about $10, but you know, keeping that 79, what used to be $10 is now 79 cents. It's the next game.
Oh,
Um, because this is also a $10 game with mixed reviews, but it's on sale currently for 79 cents, and that is Down to Hell. This
down the hill.
has a very interesting art style. It kind of makes you think of like the this is going to sound funny. This is like the one night stand between Limbo and like Blasphemous. That's what makes it because it has like that where the background like in Limbo the characters were not as detailed. And of course, it was all about the backgrounds. The backgrounds gave the ambience, and that's what kind of made everything come together. And that's what Down the Hell does. It has like very photographic, realistic backgrounds, but the character animations are a little bit more simplistic and a little darker. That kind of plays with the lighting effects that I think makes the game look really, really cool.
So this is an interesting thing. So it has a heavy metal soundtrack as well, but they don't market it at all, which is fucking crazy. It says gives you a true heavy metal FN experience, yet they spent the money to get Decapitated and Coronal in here. Decapitated is actually like a death metal band.
Yeah,
Like black metal, I think. And so like it just has it as a little bullet. Like that should be on the damn thing is like featuring
yeah,
music by because that indie games don't do that. Come on,
yeah.
developers. Like Red Dev Studios, like you gotta get your shit together when it comes to like the marketing because like that doesn't make any damn sense to me.
Well, I mean, and also, I mean, it kind of makes you think of like this one game that I'm thinking of. I can't remember the name of it, but I remember the soundtrack was done by Celtic Frost. So technically, I could go on Google right now, but put in Celtic Frost video game, and it's going to give me the name of that game. So it's almost like it kind of helps out for accessibility and searchability, in case you're like me
Uh,
and you have like half a brain cell.
yeah, me too. Now they do have another game that's under $2, but I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't look that like something I would play. Professor Madhouse. It's 55 cents, normally $2, but it looks not great.
Yeah.
And it has thumbs down for reviews and everything. There's another one called Chicken Riders, free to play, so that's worth always checking out because it's all it is time at the point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Down to Hell looks awesome. Now it does have that animation that I dislike. It looks like cardboard paper cutouts where the like all the
Yeah,
joints are
kind of
lazily moving.
like the old TurboGrafx game. What was it? Samurai Ghost? Is that the
Yeah,
game I'm thinking of where it looks almost like you're playing as a puppet being pulled on strings. Like that's what the movement looks like. Very
exactly.
jerky.
Yep. Yep. So yeah. The last game is one that I found. Don't know how it avoided me, but when it released, it's a dollar game. It's inspired by you have to win the game and VVVVV. It's called Quarion. It's a dollar. It's a dollar all the time, not on sale. So it's a dollar Metroidvania.
And it looks great.
Oh, looks
Looks a lot of
amazing.
fun.
So you're talking people being super worried about Hollow Knight being $20. This is a little pixel style Metroidvania that is $1.
And
So
and it has really cool art style to it. Very 8-bit spritey.
now it's a short game, so it's a dollar experience.
Mm.
But to me, like when the developers do something with a small thing, this is what I call like a first project. I want to create a Metroidvania, but let me not do something that's going to take me half my damn life to make my magnum opus first. Let me make a little micro Metroidvania and see how people like it. And very positive reviews across the board. Like very positive, which means this has legs. Now let's see what your true full game is for Zeojant. Super
Good
freaking
stuff.
cool. Oh yeah, I mean, people give the graphics decent. You're not looking at pixel for graphics; it's aesthetics, people.
Yeah,
Like we should
the
really get
aesthetic.
rid of graphics when it comes to indie because, like, we're not looking at a AAA title. We're looking at what is the feel, what is the aesthetic of what they're trying to get after.
Yeah, like
Not it's not graphics.
yeah, like what are they trying to push, you know? Because I mean, Sons, you might have games like Eartheon that's like a Genesis game, then you have some that are like we covered earlier that, has ultra realistic looking like items and stuff like that. So yeah, I
Yeah,
totally agree.
and actually, since you mentioned this, and that does complete the budget and noteworthy or budget section, budget friendly. Yeah, I Xander scrambled it. But you mentioned Eartheon, and there's a damn freaking rabbit hole, Xander, that I went down the last week, and there is a version of Eartheon released for the Exa Arcadia.
Yep.
If you don't know what the damn Exa Arcadia is, it is a scope creep hurts my soul as a physical game collector, but as a gamer makes me excited. It's an arcade system that takes cartridges like the damn Neo Geo. And there
Yeah.
is an exclusive Eartheon with exclusive content released for the X Arcadia. And in a cartridge for this, mind you, for the listeners, is $1,500, $1,500 per game. Come for the arcade kit that goes inside. And it takes 4 slots in the X Arcadia machines, just like the Neo Geo 4 Heavy 4 that did back in the day. There's primarily a lot of the arcades are out in Japan, and then there's a handful in the US, including one by Retroware that's out in Philly. So they have one if you play. They run a barcade, or I don't think it's a barcade. I think it's just an arcade there. But they have one for sure because I remember Justin Silverman posted it. But
Hmm.
there is a version. And then they have a freaking special edition, Xander, that has it signed by Yuzo Koshiro, and you get a freaking Polaroid
Oh
of him with it
wow.
and everything. And I'm pretty sure it's like a special edition. I don't think there's special editions. I think there's a single copy signed. Like
Damn.
the box is signed by Yuzo Koshiro, and it's fucking. I'm like, damn, I almost want to buy that shit just to have the one signed copy, but I can't
That's so
justify a
much money.
15. No, there's no way. Like I can't do that shit. Like that's not responsible as an adult. Like like that's the problem. Like, oh yeah. And the thing is I went down the damn rabbit hole and because I'll probably do a book on it in the future just to see like the interesting world of the X Arcadia, and they announce new games all the time. So imagine now, right? $1,500 per game, right?
Yeah.
And I did my quick list. There's over 70.
Wow.
And so let me get out my calculator. 1500 times 70. So this is how much you would have to be able to collect this console. If you wanted to get all 70 releases, just at the base price, it would cost you 100,500, $105,000. That's without
Wow.
shipping. That's without shipping from Japan.
Jeez.
Or not Japan, I think they're out in Taiwan or Hong Kong or Korea, maybe.
That's insane.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, that I mean, I don't have 100K sitting around, but I mean, that would be like something where if people ask me if you won the lottery, I would buy stuff
Yeah.
like
That
this,
that would be like your stupid purchase. Everyone has
like,
their stupid
like
purchase.
in my giant basement movie room with seats and everything and a pull down screen, I would have an X Arcadia in there. So
That'd be
that would be
awesome.
that'd be my dumbass gaming thing that I'd have. And I went down my rabbit hole because they don't have everything categorized. So there's no list. So I have the list now from multiple sources. And he had 71 games actually, not 70. So it's yeah, we add another 1,500 to that. So 106.50. But no, I mean, there's shit in here like a Wild Guns Rawhide game, Wild Guns
Mhm.
exclusive version. You have lots of cave shooters in here. You have you remember I don't know if you heard of Donut Dodo, the indie game that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
released.
I like that game.
Um
It's like Donkey Kong.
there's a sequel that was released in 2023 called Donut Dodo Do. It's
Mm.
exclusive to the X Arcadia. We mentioned it before, and this we did talk about the last time we talked about Super Battle Princess Madeline. So there's a sequel, or it's a different exclusive version of Battle Princess Madeline for the X Arcadia. That was released in 2020, by the way. 5 years ago it was released. So
Yep.
this stuff is like it's been out since it lasted through COVID, and there are a few canceled games. They initially had it listed as model numbers, so but then some of them announced don't have model numbers, but
Hmm.
they're I mean, it looks cool as shit. It's right in my wheelhouse. The Eartheon is 75. And the reason why this is it's tough to track down X Arcade information is because it's coming from overseas. A lot of the names, there's multiple title names. And so Eartheon was like Arion, or it was listed something else. It was listed as something else on lists. The lists aren't right because they're not English.
Right.
And the English is different. There's crazy shit in here though, man. Like Ricky had done a bunch. Ricky is an indie developer for the Famicom, by
Yeah.
the way.
Wow.
So yeah. So and there's some NES style arcade games that they released, but
Mhm.
I'm not gonna pay $1,500 for an indie style game.
That's
But yeah, so that Eartheon, man, that was good because we talked about Eartheon a few weeks ago. It's a good
oh
pivot,
yeah.
but yeah, it is wild. It is wild, bro. I
Yeah,
think it's time
and
to talk about our outro now.
oh yeah, and talk about our executive producers. Big
Ah,
shout out to these folks for helping and supporting all of our endeavors. But big shout out to Akaroth
and we got David Isherwood.
and Launchbox, aka the Disgruntled Gamer from Thunderdome Gaming Society.
And then, of course, Jesse Glenn, who actually always shoots me. And we need to start posting these in the Facebook group. Jesse
Mhm.
Glenn sent me, there was like a Game Boy homebrew ending and an NES game. And there's a bunch of cool. There was a one called The End that was ending pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah. Launchbox is always shooting some freaking crazy games. And last but not least is Jacob Hendrickson.
And Richardson. And Richardson. And we didn't forget to do the actual randomizer because I'm going to be playing SilkSong. So
Mhm.
like let's not do a randomizer for the next week because there's also another giant list to talk about of indie games, and
Oh
we
yeah,
can
and
keep
I'm
the
pretty
episode
sure.
under an hour maybe next week.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we'll probably have some more thoughts about Silk Song next week too. So, but yeah,
Exactly.
but yeah, guys, this wraps up another episode of the Indie Credible podcast, and we want to thank you guys for watching. And as always, happy gaming and support indie.